You probably know Nelly Korda as the beautiful golfer with the picture-perfect swing, but we bet you don't know she wants to rule the world. Yeah, don't let that cute face fool you. She's Kang in a dress.
And you think you can beat me? I am Kang!
Remember 2021? Of course you do. Who can forget the year of the vaccines? It was the year we received more jabs than Joe Frazier did in Manila. But you know what else happened? Nelly Korda. 2021 was the year she stole the highlights on the LPGA Tour and the rest of women's golf. That year, she forced the world to know her name. She was winning so much, she could hardly stop to catch her breath. One of the 4 trophies she won that year, the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, was the grandest. It was her first major tournament victory and the one that announced her arrival at the top of women's golf. That win elevated her to number 1 on the world ranking. As if making light work of the LPGA Tour wasn't enough, she took her monster form to the global stage. She won the gold medal for the USA at the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. And you know what comes with winning in professional golf? Money. And Nelly made a lot of it. In 2021, she landed on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list after she raked in almost $2.4 million from her victories. She'd had a good year and didn't look like she would tire at all. But the next year, her journey took an unexpected hit. In other words, life happened to her. First came COVID. And come on, Nelly, who still catches COVID in 2022? But she shook it off like a common cold, only to get another bit of bad news. Sometime in March 2022, she noticed some swelling in her arm after a routine workout. Then she went to the ER to have it looked at, and the doctors found a blood clot in her subclavian vein. And like that, her plans for the year went out the window. But even all of this was too small to knock off her moxie. With any challenge, you need to work out how to turn the negative to a positive. You need to understand that a setback is nothing more than a motivation to problem solve. This is what she told RSNG about that dark episode of her career. And you just know a winner's mentality when you see it, and Korda has got it. She came back from the layoff to defend her Pelican Women's Championship and closed the year at number 2 on the rankings. On the financial end, 2022 wasn't bad at all. Thanks to her marketable personality and her obvious talent, she had big companies lining up for her signature. Among them were Titleist, Liv Per, Richard Mille, Hanwha Q-Cells, UKG, Franklin Templeton, Cisco, and Whoop. According to Forbes, her sponsors combined gave her $4 million, and she earned $1.4 million for her work on the LPGA Tour. As a result, she entered the Forbes list of highest-paid female athletes at number 22. That number should be higher in 2023 after she ditched Titleist for TaylorMade. She stopped wearing J. Lindbergh sportswear after her deal with Nike, and Goldman Sachs and Grant Thornton also joined her pool of sponsors. Nelly's money is pouring like a storm, and that lady is in fine form. She has established herself as one of the best of her time. So it's only right that we talk about her timepieces. She's one of the faces of the Richard Mille luxury brand of wristwatches, and she's usually sporting the Swiss watchmaker's coveted pieces everywhere she goes. She had the RM007 on her wrist when she won the KPMG Women's PGA Championship in 2021. It was probably how she knew her time had come, and she wasn't dialing it down at all in the playoff against Lizette Salas. The RM007 was Richard Mille's first feminine model, and since its release in 2005, it's been a collector's item for those who can afford it. Korda's watch uses an automatic movement, and its hours, minutes, and dates rotor is made of grade 5 titanium and tungsten carbide. Nelly's RM007 had a blue strap and a blue dial, and you can get one for about $100,000. And you know what? That's not even the most expensive piece her wrist has seen. Check out the stunning RM0701 she wore at the 2022 PNC Championship. She and her father didn't win the PNC belts, but the strap around her wrist was the talk of the tournament. Korda's RM0701 is a black carbon TPT and titanium watch with a green rubber strap launched in 2020. And you might need to call your account manager for this one. It will set you back by nothing less than $250,000 if you ever wish to cop one. Yeah, you know what they say. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But so also is the wrist that wears the Richard Mille RM0701. To top it off, Korda joined 5 other sportswomen to design the RM0704. It's a landmark timepiece, as the watch is the first in Richard Mille's collection dedicated to women's sports. To personalize the RM0704 design, each woman chose their own colors. Korda's version has a rouge strap with an off-white bezel. The skeletonized watch has a platinum rotor and titanium baseplate and 50 hours of power reserve. After 3 years in the making, it was launched in 2023, and it retails for just $185,000 if you can get your hands on one. Okay, enough about Korda's outrageous watches. How about her wheels? What's her taste in automobiles like? She showed off some of that golf money on her Instagram story when she announced her new ride. It was a Cape York green metallic BMW XM. The machine comes with 23-inch wheels, deep lagoon leather upholstery in the cabin, and gold accents on the outside. According to Korda, the gold accents are chef's kiss. Now, you're probably wondering where she parks her $160,000 ride. There's a great chance she parks it in the garage of her house in Bradenton, Florida, where she grew up with her sister and brother. And in case you missed the Korda name in golf, you might have heard it in tennis. As the daughter of 2 former professional athletes, Nelly's athleticism is a genetic hand-me-down. Her father is Peter Korda. He was a Czechoslovakian tennis star who won the 1998 Australian Open and rose to world number 2 in the same year. And his wife and Nelly's mother, Regina Ratchertova, represented Czechoslovakia at the 1988 Olympics. The Czech Republic remains the home of the Kordas, but Bradenton, Florida has also been their home since they moved to the U.S. fully in 2008. Like Nelly, her sister Jessica and her brother Sebastian are accomplished athletes in golf and tennis respectively. Jessica is Nelly's older sister, and even though she's 5 years older, the girls move like twins. They've represented Team USA at the 2019 and 2021 Solheim Cups and the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And whenever they go out in uniform, it can be hard to tell them apart. They both honed their craft at the IMG Academy, where Nelly still trains. But while Nelly escaped to the serenity of Bradenton, Jessica chose the buzzing scene of the Jupiter area. And even when they aren't wearing matching outfits, they've been a team. Jessica is usually one of the first people to congratulate Nelly, and it's always pure sisterly love between the two. Sebastian, aka Sebi, on the other hand, is a clone of their dad. 20 years after his old man won the Australian Open, Sebi won the Junior Australian Open in 2018. That was a year before Nelly won her Australian Open to complete what has been called the Korda Slam. Added to Jessica's 2012 Australian Open victory, 4 Kordas have now won Australian Opens, and Sebi might add a senior title to their haul in the future. Apart from being a Richard Mille ambassador like his sisters, Sebi shares a WhatsApp group called The Trio with them. And there you have it. The Korda kids are thick as thieves, and we know this because they've been stealing shows. Besides tennis and golf, ice hockey is another sport popular in the Korda household, and Nelly's love is literally gliding on ice. She has been in a relationship with Canadian ice hockey player Andreas Athanasiou since 2019. He played for the LA Kings before signing for the Chicago Blackhawks in 2022. But LA Kings is Korda's favorite NHL team, and you would think she must have wanted him to stay there. Now, this is one thing most golf fans might not know about Nelly Korda. Though she looks like the easygoing girl that can't hurt a fly, she has a killer instinct when she's in contention. Her colleagues love her friendly nature, but they fear the lady who enjoys pressure like no one else. It's almost as if she gets extra horsepower when the stakes are high. Everyone knows how hard staying at the top can be, especially in golf, where new talents are always on the prowl. But as for Korda, she is a fearless contender. She told Golf magazine when she appeared on its cover, "I want to be the best golfer in the world. I want to be world number 1, and I want to have the Grand Slam, and I want to work towards something that no one's ever done before." And those are the words of a woman who wants to conquer the world. If you enjoyed this video about Nelly Korda, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below. We're sure you'll like that one too. See you there!